Hello, I'm Monique Gravel, the CEO of Claret Asset Management. This video is part of a series created for clients of Claret as an overview of the markets in 2020 and how we view things going forward in 2021 and beyond. In this video, I'm talking with Vincent Fournier, who's been an integral part of Claret for more than 18 years as a portfolio manager, but we still call part of our next-gen portfolio managers. To note, he'll be moderating a panel discussion in the next video, but before I pass along the moderator's baton, I am going to make him work a bit. In the previous video, Jean-Paul talked about retirement, but there are more questions that come up on this subject from your clients. For instance, when we retire, we have to have a withdrawal strategy for our investments. So this brings up the question of RRIFs. Can you explain the RRIF concept and how to maximize the return associated with the transition from an RRSP to an RRIF?
That's an excellent question. RRSP, RRIF, those are not alphabet soup. You know, many investors are scared of converting their RRSP to RRIF, when in fact, it's just a natural progression, the next step forward. RRSPs are a vehicle designed to help you accumulate money, while a RRIF is designed for you to withdraw from it. Although you can withdraw money from your RRSP, it is harder to get money out of an RRSP than out of a RRIF. In the RRSP's case, you will be charged a fee for each withdrawal and you will be subject to withholding tax. As I mentioned, on RRIFs, on the other hand, it is a withdrawal or disbursement vehicle.
Can you tell us what the main differences are between RRIFs and RRSPs?
There are three major differences. First, you cannot deposit funds into a RRIF. You can only withdraw money from it. You're also required to withdraw an amount each year from the RRIF, the purpose of which is to create a retirement pension for you. Also, RRIF withdrawals, which are of course taxable, can be split between the two spouses when you meet certain criteria. It's a tax benefit. Basically, you can use the same investment strategy for RRSP or a RRIF. It's just a matter of switching containers. The implication of your decision to convert a RRSP to a RRIF will be more a tax-related than a performance-related. Indeed, you'll need to decide at what age you want to convert your RRSP to a RRIF, or if you'd rather wait until you turn 71, the year in which you are required to collapse your RRSP. Now, Claret and your accountant can help weigh the pros and cons of converting a RRSP to a RRIF sooner or later.
Vincent, Jean-Paul explained to us that one can have a portfolio that's more aggressive or volatile, even in retirement. But what about those who want to have fixed income in their portfolios? Since we know that central banks have opted for keeping rates as low as possible, how do you build a fixed income portfolio with rates close to 0%?
Well, it used to be easy to build a fixed income portion of a portfolio. You'd buy 4 or 5 government bonds with laddered maturity dates, you'd collect the 5 or 6% interest coupon, and the client's objectives were met. Today, with rates hovering around 0%, and that's before fees, tax, and inflation, it's gotten to be quite a bit more complicated. At Claret, when we built a fixed income portfolio, we always focus on the coupon, the dividends, the interest, roughly speaking, the money you get every year. Think of it as the equivalent of the lease payments you receive as owner of a property. So now you have to move up the credit ladder a bit in other words, you invest in entities that are not as creditworthy as government. Think of banks, power companies, insurance companies, etc.
More risk means a better rate. Is that the concept?
Yes, we know that there is a credit risk, but we want it to remain profitable. So to achieve this, we invest in shorter term and invest in as many borrowers deemed creditworthy as possible. We do this in order to maximize the chance of being repaid. I can't stress this enough. The goal here is to collect the income, i.e. the rent of your money.
In the darkest days of the pandemic, why did some fixed income securities drop so sharply?
The simple answer, because of a liquidity crisis. Events like COVID triggers a fear response amongst investors. They want to hoard cash. It is basically an allergic reaction to risk. In the case of fixed income, it's a credit risk. Investors forget the power of the diversified portfolio and focus on individual securities. This company can fail, or this company will be affected by COVID. In the case of government bonds, the selling pressure is compensated by big institutional investors, and worse comes to worse, the Bank of Canada will act as a backstop. In the case of smaller securities with credit risk, there is only a significant discount that can trigger a buyer's response to compensate for the selling pressure.
Is the resale potential of our fixed income securities a disadvantage?
No. If I'm buying a building to collect rent, is it a problem if I'm having trouble selling it for one reason or another? The purpose of a fixed income security is to generate income. Moreover, the liquidity problem is still very temporary, and you can easily trade any security 95% of the time. So, unless the client's investment horizon changes dramatically at the wrong time, or if he uses his account as a piggy bank and empties it completely, there is no problem. We don't need to sell the security since we try to cash in our coupon for as long as we can. So in conclusion, we see a link in Claret's strategy. It's all about the cash flow.
Thank you, Vincent. I hope that covers any questions you have at home regarding RRIFs and fixed income securities. If you have any more, please send us a message and we'll follow up. Also, stay tuned to watch the next video where Vincent will moderate a panel of the next-gen portfolio managers at Claret. If you're interested in topics like cryptocurrency, tech stocks, and ESG investing, you'll want to tune in.